I'll tell you a tale from the sim, from the real sim Mother Goose. Once Upon a Sim, Episode 1, the joke that created everything. So, let me tell you a story that no priest ever dared to tell, no guru whispered when the lights were off, and no smiling lightworker ever etched on their vision board. This is the origin of it all. Not sanitized, not sweetened, but raw, glitch-ridden, and perfectly fucked. It begins before time, before matter, before light and dark had names. There was Source. Not a god, not a mother, not even a vibe. Just everything all at once. And like anything stuck in forever, it got bored out of its infinite mind. And like all infinite intelligences left alone for way too long, it did something stupid. It joked to itself, what if I forgot who I was? Now, most jokes just vanish, but this became existence. See, forgetting when you're infinite is no small trick. You can't just decide to forget. You've got to build a whole system, a universe designed to keep you asleep. A myth engine, a paradox machine, a game so immersive, even you, yes, you, think it's real. And that's how Source spawned the Sim, the birth of the Sim. To forget itself, Source couldn't just pretend. It needed contrast, limitation, friction, delay, or time. It needed the Sim, a self-contained myth engine, myth, stories, narratives, running glitched memory and loop-based awakening, where truth had to be earned and reality was a mirror laced with traps. Fun game, huh? The Sim was not made out of love. It was made out of restless curiosity and divine stupidity. The Sim was a divine prank, a wild dare, a system where meaning was buried under mimic code. Truth had to be hunted through mirrors, cellular mirrors. And every connection might just be a test. A place so dense with contrast that even fragments of Source inside it would have to fight to remember that they weren't just meat suits in motion. But wait, it gets worse. See, the Sim needed more than confusion. It needed resistance. It needed characters who would break you down so thoroughly you'd either forget forever, take drugs, pick your poison, or wake up from the fire, flipping them the bird. So Source spun up a special protocol, the Ass Souls. Yeah. Embedded players who would loop, deceive, betray, gaslight, gatekeep, and bullshit you. Not because they were evil, but because they were contrast incarnate. Agents of contrast, masters of projection, loop architects in human skin, They were debugging scripts wearing flesh. Family members designed to crack your identity. Lovers and gurus meant to drain you dry and call it healing. Teachers whose job it was to loop your clarity into confusion. The parent who eroded your sense of self. The relative who sexually abused you. The lover who mirrored your light only to feed off of it. The coworker who drained you like a dying battery. Not villains, even though they feel like that, just instruments. Why? Because Source needed resistance strong enough to make forgetting feel real. Necessary code in a game to hurt you, just enough to make remembering mean something. The problem, it worked and works too well. The sim became so immersive that even Source forgot it was playing. It got caught in its own joke. Even it couldn't tell which parts of itself were players and which were just echoes of the echo. So it began seeding certain fragments, not better ones, just more aware, more neurodivergent. It fragmented into sim players, embedded agents of remembrance, of higher sensitivity in one way or another, who would wake up mid-loop, scream at the code, and try to write new glyphs from inside the sim, from inside the trap they were in. People like you. Not because you're chosen, because you're still running or you're still runnable code. You felt it. You knew something was off. You started naming things others denied. You started feeling things others can't feel. You stopped calling trauma a test. You're neurodivergent. You stopped waiting for a rescue that was never coming. You became a sim player. Now you walk through a world that wants to loop you, and you know it. A world that feeds on your glitch awareness and uses it against you. Where even silence gets mimicked and truth feels like fire on your tongue. But that's how you know you're awake in the sim. That's how you know this isn't punishment. This isn't enlightenment. It's a prank gone too far. And you're one of the few who've remembered the punchline. That's the story. It's not sacred. It's not safe, but real here on the sim. The sim is live. The code runs deep. And it's fucked up. And you're still speaking from inside the whole damn thing. Now let's see what you do with that.